Good afternoon. Welcome to Trail Talk. Thank you so much for joining us today. Is it recording? Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm very glad that you could be here to help me welcome someone pretty new to town, very new to town, probably a month or 6 weeks, about a month. She's been here. This is Kelly. Kelly is the brand new CEO and president of the local Chamber of Commerce. Yes. Welcome to Duncan. Welcome to Trail Talk.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you could join us. This is really going to be fun getting to know you. So you've been in Duncan for a month,
right?
Had you visited Duncan much before?
Yes, we have family here.
Okay.
And so the last 6 to 7 years, we would come down to visit my husband's family. His sister and mom and his brother-in-law live here. And so it feels like a second home, and now it's my permanent home.
Right.
So it's been great. I tell you, the neighbors that I've met more neighbors in Duncan than I ever did in Oklahoma City.
Really?
Oh, yes. I mean, they would come over, even before we really moved in, we were still remodeling our home. And they would come over and introduce themselves, and we created nicknames for them. We have the Sue the Squirrel Lady. We have, so it was fun. And they were just, I tell you, the people have just been fabulous. It's so welcoming.
You live someplace and you really like to think and believe that that's true about your hometown, because you're telling people, hey, yeah, I'm from Duncan, but to hear that firsthand, that's really, that's great for us, to be able to know that really is the truth, that's really how people are welcomed to town. So you're not from Duncan. Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Arkansas.
Okay.
So I grew up in a really small town called Atkins. It's outside of Russellville, which is also considered a small town. It's a little bit bigger than Duncan. So I sort of compare Russellville to Duncan.
Okay.
Just about the size and like what to expect and what will be here as far as opportunities. But it's about right in between on I-40 between Fort Smith and Little Rock. Just right in between, that drive, and that's.
I don't remember the name of that town.
Now,
no,
Atkins Pickles. Atkins Pickles.
Yes.
My mom worked in the pickle factory.
Okay.
Pickle plant.
The pickle plant.
60s.
There you go.
Oh yeah, the Atkins Pickles were a big thing up until about maybe 10 to 15 years ago. They sold the plant and turned it into something else. But I went to college in Russellville. Worked at the nuclear plant.
Oh.
And that was really my first job out of college, was a nuclear plant. I was a videographer, and I would shoot video and put training videos together for the operators and the engineers that worked there at the plant. And
interesting. So was that your degree?
Journalism.
Oh, journalism. Okay.
Which covers pretty much anything.
Right.
But yeah, I did that, and then I ended up getting a job at the CBS affiliate in Little Rock. It was Channel 11. And I was a news producer, a little bit of videography, mostly editing and producing. And then I ended up doing the 10 o'clock show, not anchor, but just producing it, and did a little bit of reporting. And I loved that, but ended up.
So was that kind of the dream?
It was originally. It was the dream. I did a lot of like broadcast journalism in college and ran the local newspaper. And so it was the dream. But then when I got in, it was, unless you were Kelly Ogle, or unless you were on, it was not really good money at all, and you would really bad hours. But it was a learning experience. It was really, really good to learn the ins and outs. I was there. I worked there during the Whitewater scandal, so that was pretty exciting when you have the CBS reporters coming in to report on the Ken Starr crisis.
Right, yeah, all the stuff in Arkansas.
Well, of course, Clinton was the then, so it was a lot of stuff. I mean, it feels like what's going on in today's world is a lot, but even back then it was a lot. It was a different type of scandal, but anyway. But from there, I ended up working at Tyson Foods, and that's really where I spent a lot of my time. With Tyson Foods, and worked in their marketing department. I worked in food service and research and all of it was kind of led me to what brought me to Oklahoma. So,
which was?
I was in charge of all of our charitable donations, all of the PR events that surrounded when we donate to a food bank or donate to like a rescue mission.
Right.
And Tyson would donate so much food, and I was in charge of making it a PR event and trying to get media there, and then just handling the donation itself. Well, Tyson donates to Feed the Children.
Right.
Well, my husband is the current CEO of Feed the Children right now.
Oh,
Travis. So okay. We dated long distance for about a year. And in 2005 was when I moved over here. We got married and been here ever since.
Well, no.
So I was lucky to get a job in the career tech system. And I worked at the one at the campus in Chickasha for quite a while. Commuted from the city because he was working up there. Loved it, and the commute was a little tough. After 10 years of driving back and forth, I decided to find something in the city and did, and somehow ended up in the chamber world. And here I am again.
And here you are.
It's kind of like full circle.
So you were you working with the chamber prior to coming to Duncan?
Yes.
So, okay. So this is directly.
So when I was working at the Technology Center in Chickasha, I served on the board, the chamber board there.
Oh, okay.
And did a lot of work with the board. And then after a few things here and there, I worked at an ad agency downtown in Oklahoma City for a little bit. And then I started working at the Norman Chamber. And that's really where I got my feet wet with the chamber world. And worked under Scott Martin. He was a great mentor. He's still there. He's the president and CEO of the Norman Chamber. And I did all the marketing, communications, PR for that chamber. And really, we did a lot of things, a lot of good things. And then COVID hit. And so that was a challenge. But we worked our way through it and dealt with it. We actually, an initiative that I helped on, it was with us, the city of Norman and the Visitors Bureau. We worked together on a mask, wear your mask campaign. It's, you want this, we would have a image of people in the stadium cheering. You want this, we'll wear this, and then would have somebody wearing a mask. So it was almost like, wear this so we can get back out again.
Yes.
So, and it won some awards on the state level.
You know,
campaign did.
My husband and I have season tickets to OU football. And you know, that season, I guess it was 2020, the 2020 season, I guess it was. They did kind of a lottery of all season ticket owners. And so we didn't get season tickets at first. And then they came back and they said, so that someone else dropped out. You can, you know, or maybe it was like a, you know how some companies will own a lot of tickets and they were releasing some of their tickets to let other people. Anyway, somehow we got to go. We didn't sit in our regular seats, but they had, you know, so many seats open between, you could sit together. But there were signs. I can remember those signs.
You remember the where this or where this?
Yes, I do remember that.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Yes.
But yeah, they were all over Norman.
They were, I mean, it was a very strictly enforced thing, even at the football games, you know, out in the open. But we, it was worth it. It was worth it to get to go out and to do things, and just a small price to pay to get to go enjoy ourselves. It was fun. That is together. That is cool. Wow, you have had a lot of different jobs.
I'm just not really on purpose, but I think I'm so interested in learning more and doing more. So it just kind of progressed that way.
Right.
And then an opportunity came up in Moore to move up the lady who was doing what I was doing at the Norman Chamber. She moved up as the president and CEO of the Moore Chamber. So I called her, I knew her, and I said, hey, you need a marketing person. She said, come on, let's go. Let's get busy. And so we rebranded the chamber in Moore, and we did a lot of really neat things.
Awesome.
So where they actually are planning first ever barbecue festival in Moore. It's called Grill Stock. We came up with the name and I designed the logo before I left. And that's about the only footprint I have in that event, but they're doing fabulous with that. And I'm really excited for it.
Oh,
it's in September. And they're trying to do that to replace the auction because, you know, chambers do auctions.
Right.
And you kind of get burned out after 3, 4, 5 people hit you up for an auction item to donate or to sponsor a table or to attend. And we were kind of sandwiched between Oklahoma City and Norman. And there were just so many. So this is their effort to replace the auction, still try to bring in the revenue that the auction would do, but to do something new and different for the community and really make it more of a public community event.
And so something just clicked in my head. Did you know Chris through Chamber or through Feed the Children?
Chris Steele?
Uh-huh.
I just met him when I told him we were thinking about.
You were just because you know he is really involved with Feed the Children and feeding kids around Stevens County. I mean, that's such a huge part of his.
Well, I know that Feed works with some of the communities or some of the organizations that he works with, and Life's Hope. I know that Feed knows, or Travis knows the people there, and they've donated. So it's kind of like a loose relationship with that, and Travis being at the level he is, he doesn't always get involved with some of the immediate needs, but the events, but he gets us. You know, tries to get it out to everyone and tries to get the food out and try to help the different communities. Right.
Well, the Spokes for Hope, that's a part of One True Light here in Duncan, that Spokes for Hope is a feeding program in the summer here, and they get, or at least they used to get food to feed the children, that feeding program, and they feed I don't know how many different locations, but for 4 days a week during June and July. Get food out to families. It's
so much during the summer. They have the teacher store that they have up there. Teachers are able to go shop. But that's how we met, was through donations, and then I moved here. And
well, and see, because you were involved with the chamber, you thought I should reach out to a chamber person to assist me in my transition or move, and that's not something I would have ever thought of doing.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't know. So I love that you're sharing that, because that's something maybe some other viewers would not think about, as using the chamber as a resource like that for potential job opportunities or what, you know, whatever. That is very cool. I hadn't thought about that.
Well, I mean, I thought, I'm going to be in the community. I want to get involved with the chamber since I've done it. So I reached out, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, well, Chris is retiring. How about apply for his job and apply for that job? Sure. Okay. It's a different role for me. It really is. And I'm really excited to learn more about what it means to actually run a chamber. I've always done a really big component, been behind the scenes, and making my bosses look good. So now I guess it's time for me to try to step into that.
Well, those of us who have worked Chris for so many years, I am just thinking that is an almost insurmountable job to try to do. And so I'm excited to see your version of Chamber of Commerce president. You know, I mean, you're going to have to, even though there are kind of like these expectations because of the different things that feed off of that, there has to be the Kelly Arnold version of that role. And so I'm excited. I mean, just listening to you talk about some things you've done in other communities, and I can tell you're kind of pretty passionate about a lot of that. So I'm thinking, wow, I wonder, you know, what's in store for Duncan? This is going to be great.
Well, I hope it will be. I hope I can bring some really good, fresh, new ideas, things that they may have tried and it didn't work, or maybe something brand new that I know we're at the Moore Chamber we're trying to do. They were trying to start a pickleball tournament. That's something that an idea. Just some ways that we can get the chamber better or more involved with just the different businesses and the different communities that have these different areas, like the sports area. And,
right.
And I know that they've done a great job with working with all the nonprofits and all the different organizations that are out there. Because Duncan is pretty heavy on the nonprofit side.
We are.
That's a good thing. So,
yes.
Yeah, my focus is really going to be continue to do what we've done, but really hone in on what makes the chamber great and how can we make the businesses thrive and succeed. And you know, the three components of the chamber is advocate, connect, grow. So advocate means we're going to do more on the legislative side of things and really be the voice of our members, the members that are the paying members that are businesses. We want to be their voice. We want to do as much as we can to share their best interests and provide opportunities for them to learn more about what's going on locally that affects them as well as on the state and national level. Right. And I think that getting more involved with like the state chambers and the U.S. Chamber, you know, all of those is really trying to see areas that can benefit our businesses and provide those resources and really putting a value on what does the chamber do for you to help you grow and you thrive as an organization or business.
Right.
So that's really where I'm coming from is bring in more networking opportunities. Business after hours. I know that COVID kind of messed some of that stuff up with bringing people together, but I'm ready to get going. Right. Try to get more networking opportunities, mix and mingles. We want to do a member spotlight at least once a week, if not more often, and go out and shoot a quick 1 to 2 minute video interview like what we're doing, but me go and really find out what that business does. And we did some of that and more, and it really was because of COVID. We quit being able to have the networking events for a little while, so right. We try to pull in these, and we call them member moments, where we would go out and just interview the different members. So there's some ways that you can highlight your members and really try to highlight what they do in the community to increase their exposure, because that's what we're about. That's right. What we should be doing. Right. A lot of that. And we do a great job with the ribbon cuttings and stuff, but I think there's some even more opportunities to bring people together, to network, and to one thing is just like if a construction owner or a construction builder needs to find a painter, they can go to the networking job or a networking hour and find it and find someone. Yeah, so that's one of the big areas I want to work on.
Right. Well, that's see, while you're talking, I'm thinking, what did I really think the role of the Chamber of Commerce was? What did I really? I don't know if I thought it was networking, although it seems like that's obvious. Well, I've kind of always seen it as the members supporting the other members by showing up for the ribbon cutting and cheering them on and saying, good luck. We're so excited that you're, starting this new business, or you're joining the chamber, or whatever that is. That's kind of been what I have thought about.
Well, and we have a great ambassador team, and that's what they're there to do. But I think even more, invite the entire community to come out and celebrate. Celebrate a ribbon cutting, celebrate this business that's opening. And then continue that by encouraging people to go shop there. And a couple of things that we've just now started, and it's just going to kick off the ground. So I want to like a member promotion area where members can put their deals or any kind of specials they've got, hot deals they have going. They can post them on our website, and then they get posted out to social media. And that's one feature that we have in our system that I'm trying to make that live, and then a job board. So I really want to add that to our site. It's a job board,
Right.
and get anytime there's anybody hiring, they post it there. So there's a universal place to find jobs.
So do you, feel like people utilize the chamber to its full ability? You know, like I'm just sitting here thinking,
I
you
don't
know,
think so.
I
think they don't know what we
either.
do.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. I think that we need
to do a better job educating.
right.
I mean, not just here. I mean, any chamber I've been involved in, it's been, we need to tell people what we do and how we're valued. And how are we a value to that business to help them thrive? Well, we have, we're kind of a conduit. We have our contacts in the legislature. We have contacts in the community. We have nonprofits that we can partner with and partner people with. So it's really, we're kind of just the conduit between businesses and a successful community and happy citizens and people just really moving us forward.
Right.
And that's
now, Terry Knox from the Visitors Bureau was on a few weeks ago. And so am I remember this right? She said that the Visitors Bureau, the city and the chamber that you, like you mentioned earlier in another community, you guys work together to promote all sorts of things that benefit our city.
Oh, absolutely. And the economic development too.
Oh yeah, yes,
sure.
Yes.
So I feel like all four of those entities, I have seen them work great together, but there are a lot of potential to do even more and to really be a hub for businesses. This is your business hub. This is, tourism is important because you want people to come in and shop. And, industrial growth is important because you want to provide jobs and workers, and you want people to stay and spend the money that they're making in your economy, which in terms helps your retail. And that's the, our side of things.
Right.
And so it's just.
Yeah, it seems like she referred to the chamber as the quality of life component.
Like yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yes, while you were talking, I thought that's what she said. Yeah. So, what does it take for a business? I guess businesses that's who are the members of the chamber.
Correct.
So what does it take for a business to be eligible for that? What does it require?
To be
a member of the chamber. Just join.
Yeah, to join. And then as soon as you join the chamber, you start getting information about our events, opportunity to be in Leadership Duncan, which is a huge opportunity for anyone to learn more. I'm going through it next year, hopefully, if I can say that.
Yeah.
Let's
see. I'm pretty sure you'll make you're in one of those spots where it's pretty vital, I would say, to your position. Yeah.
I've been through several leadership classes. And every one of them is different, and every one of them has its own component or flair or area of where they like to show off things, So I'm looking forward to going through and seeing more of Duncan because like I said, I'd come in to visit family and we'd go to a local restaurant. That's about it.
Yeah.
Don Jose's, love Don Jose's. Yeah. It's right there close to where we live. And but, there's a lot of so many good restaurants and I'm learning about some more of the locally owned ones too that I'd like to try.
Well, I will say that Leadership Duncan, I think it will be. It was one of the best years of my life.
Really?
Honestly.
What year did you go through?
I'm class 21, so this is 29, so about 8 years ago. Yeah. I guess I wrapped up in it must have been 2016, 2017. I think my youngest was a senior in high school. But I just learned so much. And so I didn't even really have a job. It wasn't like I didn't even have, I guess I had just started working here actually at that time.
Yeah.
And it was very part-time, and I had just been kind of a community volunteer. And a friend of mine recommended me, and so I was like, I'll fill out the application. And boy, when I got to do that, it was such a it was a confidence booster.
I was about to say, it sparked your
It really
interest
did
to be more involved
too. And right, and realizing the importance of serving on boards,
right?
You know, and just how big of a help that is for these bazillion nonprofits, you know, that exist around here. Plus, just having a way to make the community better.
Yeah.
You know, just by being able to be in the background like that and serve in that way, I just think it's great. And plus, just meeting so many new people, and I don't know, it was like a real life changer for me. And I was in my 50s, you know, so it was like, you're not too right. You're not too old,
right,
to jump in and try something new like that. Yeah, you know, it's so great. So I'm really excited about, you know, about all that. But I was just thinking about businesses, like what would benefit? How would they know, or how would they be more on the in on finding out about things by being a part of the chamber that they wouldn't be able to do outside of a membership?
Well, we have our legislative coffees, so that's a way for them to be in the know of what's going on the legislative side of things, on the state level. And like I said, I want to try to get more networking opportunities to come in and have sponsors to where that sponsor can showcase their business to everyone else, and they can do a little tour. But they would sponsor and host the after hours, bring the people in, and they can showcase their business. So that's a win-win right there.
Right.
And
I love that.
I know the way they do the chamber breakfast is really good. They have a sponsor, but then they choose a nonprofit to come in and speak also. So I feel like that's an opportunity to grow and have bigger sponsors, bigger events for that. And I don't know. And one other idea that has been talked about, and we're kind of just thinking about, is energizing or starting brand new young professionals organization.
Right.
I know that JC's back in the day were a thing, and then that kind of dissolved. But now most chambers I know have some form of young professionals. Sometimes they break away and they do their own thing. Sometimes they dissolve and they don't work, you know. So, and I've experienced both. I've experienced one that has just flourished, has been very prominent, the Mormon Next group, just amazing young professionals. The Moore one, they were still trying to renovate that, reinvigorate it, and try to bring life into it. I have noticed that if there's a philanthropic component to that gives them more. It's more than just a party. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It gives them something, a meaningful commitment they can make to do something good, and they learn a lot of what you do with leadership.
Right. And that's what I'm pretty sure that there's a group in Lawton that's pretty active. I think that's a few of the people from Duncan, like who were younger people in my leadership Duncan class, had gone to some of their events, hoping to get some ideas, to bring back here. But that was a long time ago. And I know for sure that Halliburton has kind of they have an active group within Halliburton of some of their younger
that's good to
professional people there. So there's always I agree. I think for some reason I don't have down all the gin whatever.
I'm in between.
Sorry,
I think
if my kids happen to see this, I don't. I can't ever keep that straight.
Yeah.
It seems irrelevant to me, but a
Right.
lot of people put a lot of stock into that. Anyway, but serving, giving back
Right.
is a
It is
really big
huge.
motivator.
It is.
And so I think that having that philanthropic part is something that would definitely pique their interest.
Right.
It's like two birds with one stone almost. You know, you can get together, you can have fun, you can, network, and then you can also have this common goal of, helping and
striving to do some good, to make some changes, so make a difference.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, that's some pretty exciting stuff.
Well,
I feel like when we were at a meeting on Monday, and I was just thinking, I really feel a little bit bad that I invited you to be on Trail Talk this early in your
maybe we can do a year review.
Right, we absolutely.
Well, what have you actually done, Kelly?
Hold her to task. No, I was just thinking about what a whirlwind you are in right now. Just trying to feel your way through.
Yeah.
And I bet the next several months are going to be real challenges with a lot of those kinds of things.
Yeah, it will be, but I feel like we've got a good board. The board is helping, doing everything they can to make sure I succeed and our chamber succeed, and which in turn, that the community succeeds.
Exactly.
That way. So I feel like they're committed in making sure that my transition is smooth, as smooth as possible, and trying to bring in some of the new ideas and not make it an exhaustive, do everything that was done, but then add this, but let's see what works and what doesn't work, and make a few changes here.
Right.
Little subtle changes at first, and then try to really bring in some new things for the community and for our chamber.
So, are there many small businesses that join the chamber?
Like in general, or most
yes.
80% of your members are the smaller businesses, 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 employees. So
really,
that makes up a lot. I don't know the exact percentage of Duncan quite yet, but I mean, both Norman and Moore, it was roughly about, especially in Moore, it was about 80% of our membership was the smaller businesses.
Yeah, because I was just sitting here thinking, okay, what would be the thing that would keep a business from joining? Well, are they a small business and they can't afford the
or they don't have staff to attend the events?
Oh, right.
That's what we run into.
Okay.
Is they have to be there and make the business succeed. They don't have time to go to a breakfast or a lunch or an after hours. But if you're giving them enough different options at different times of the day, and like I did speak with one lady a few weeks ago, and she was like, I would come to an after hours. I can't make the breakfast, but I would come. I'm like, well, then we need to have some variety of what we do to be able to cater to the different members that we have. Not all members can do one type of event. So you want to try to give some varieties and make it diverse in the types of events we offer, and then the timing of when they're offered, and then, who's the audience? Is this one going to be a small lunch and learn for small businesses? So they going to learn marketing techniques? Are they going to learn HR stuff?
Right.
Or are we going to have a really big banquet where everyone gets together? So I feel like as a chamber, your job is to really make sure that you can provide the opportunities for either events or to get involved in programs or to just network and do some professional development, like the young professionals or the leadership program. So you just really want to make sure you are giving everyone the opportunity to be part of it. And I would love to try to start in like a new member orientation, either twice a year or quarterly, where all the new members come in, and even some members that have joined that don't really know what the benefits are, and bring them in for an hour and show them.
Right.
This is how you log in. to sign up for events. This is how you log in to pay your dues. This is how you go to the hub to get all this informational pieces about how to start a business or how to, build a marketing plan, how to build a crisis communications plan. So, just to really be there for the businesses and more in as many ways as possible.
Right. And the chamber itself is a nonprofit. Is that right? It's not a 501c3.
I mean, it's a C6.
Yeah. Yes. So, where do you get your funding? Where does that come from?
Dues and non-dues, non-revenue or non-dues revenue, which is sponsorships or attendance to the registration to our event,
right?
The golf team, all of the outside besides dues, that's where we get we get it. But the dues is the majority
of. All right. Okay. Well, I think it's important that people know that you guys don't get some fat check from somewhere, or you're not out making a profit off of this.
No.
This is a service organization.
It is. It's a service, but it also highlights your business. It highlights you and what level do you want to sponsor. Is the level you're going to get. Your logo is going to get out there. Your people's information, all your information is going to be out there. So it's how much you want to put into it is how much you're going to get out of it. I mean, that's anywhere, everywhere.
Right.
But I feel like you always have a good percentage of your members who are involved, who come up and do things, and that's great. And you want to make sure that they're still getting out of it what they're putting into it. So you don't want to ignore those people, but you also want to try to figure out what are the needs of the people that aren't coming. They're paying their dues every year, but they're not coming. What do they need from us? It may not be the same thing that the people that come to events need. And then what about the ones that join and drop or don't ever join, just are interested? What are their needs? What do they need from us? And what do they need from the community to help them grow? And they're all different. Everyone's answer is going to be different.
Right.
And that's my job and our job as the chamber to find that out and then build our program of work to meet those needs and to still follow along with our mission. So,
wow. It seems like a lot.
It is a lot.
I mean, I'm thinking it's you and one other person.
There's two of us. Yes. Well, I'm very lucky to have Sandy. She's been doing the events forever, for 16 years, and she's got those down, and she's there to support. And she even stepped in during the time between Chris and myself. So I'm lucky to have her, and like the board has been very supportive and helpful. Patty Weinger has just been marvelous to get me around, introduce me to people. So,
right. She's really good at all of that.
Yeah. So I'm just, like I said at the very beginning, the people here have just, I mean, I get emotional thinking about how much I love the fact that the neighbors made a point to come and do something. But
that's okay.
Yeah, but everybody's just been,
it's real.
Yeah, it is.
It's a real thing.
Yeah. And it's been a difficult transition just for me personally, because I'm down here full-time. My husband comes on the weekends to help. He brings a box or truckload full of boxes every time. So when he gets down here full-time, I feel like it'll be a little easier for me. And I didn't really know I liked my husband that much,
There you go. Silver lining.
I tell him that all the time. I'm like, I wish you'd get down here. He says, really? Like, yeah, can't you come on Thursday instead of Friday? Really, you like me that much? I said, I guess I do.
Right? Who knew?
I know. I know. After he says, well, after about 3 weeks, you'll be saying, all right, don't you need to go back to the city? Probably. But we've had a good time with the house and renovating it and did the whole front landscaping and got it really, the house is really nice, and it's nice to come home to, even though I've got my two little Yorkies that Stella and Macy Groves.
Oh,
they're brats, but I love them to death. They've been keeping me sane.
Right.
The last month or so.
Well, that's good. So you have a place for shelter if the storm sirens go off like
Well,
they did last night.
In our pantry right now, that's where we are, but, after the one on, was it Saturday night?
Yes.
And it was so bad.
Yes.
My husband Travis called and made an appointment to put an underground
shelter, yeah.
But it's not till June, so I'm like, well,
It'll be almost over.
it'll be almost
Oh,
over.
speaking of that, doesn't the chamber have a golf tournament
Yes.
coming up?
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, it is, Friday, I believe it's what is that, the May 17th, is that right? 14th?
What is that
Friday?
day?
I've lost the day. It's that Friday, whatever it is.
Right.
I think it's the 17th. And,
After the Friday after Mother's Day.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. I think that would be 30.
Yes, 17th, 16th, 17th. So it's
a Friday in May coming up.
It's Friday in May.
Yeah.
At the Duncan Country Club, I believe. And so it's there's still sponsorships available. I know that. And then we've got a title sponsorship, Eagle, and a couple of corporate, and then teams. Teams of 4 are available. And if you go to our website and go to our events, it is on there, and there's a link to click on to register for it.
Okay.
That's another big challenge I've had, is to try to update our website and get it to where our events are on our site, on our webpage, because there were some things on there that weren't, up to date. So I've been trying to update that and trying to get the information to where people can go and find information about our events and register for them or secure sponsorship for them.
Right. And I think I saw that you're partnering with the Duncan Public School.
Oh, the Food for Kids
Foundation.
Yeah.
As part of the golf tournament. Am I right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. A portion of the proceeds goes to the backpacks.
Okay.
The Duncan Foundation. Duncan Schools Foundation.
Right.
Manages.
Yes.
So I think they've been doing that a couple of years. And it drives the sponsorships, and because I feel like the idea of doing that has been because more people will donate if there's a cause to that, or more people will get involved if there's a cause. So I think that's the goal.
Again, win-win.
Right.
And so, but yeah, I was noticing that. I thought, well, we should definitely promote that. That's
the golf tournament, and then the mayor's prayers breakfast usually is in May. It was moved to September, so it's the first Thursday in September. Okay. So then that's the breakfast that month. So there's a chamber breakfast every month. They don't do it in July and August, but June and July. Okay. And they do that. It's sponsored by a different organization each time. And so, yeah, that's
very good. Now, was it today?
It was today.
Okay. I was thinking it was like the last Thursday of the month. Yeah.
It was today, and then Christians Concerned was the sponsor.
Oh, okay.
So
very good.
And we gave a little update of the emergency management, Brian. Is that his name? I don't remember. But anyway,
she met a lot of people.
I've met so many people.
Cut her some slack.
Yeah. And what's funny is one person I saw at an event, I came up and said, "Oh, I just met you," and no, I hadn't. Oh, darn.
I'm trying to be so.
No. So yeah, I'll get the names and the faces straight. That's part of the problem is I'll recognize somebody, not know their name or whatever. But yeah, he came up and kind of gave an update on emergency management, obviously because of what last night and over the weekend. So, yeah, it was a good breakfast.
Good. It's really good. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad you're here.
Thank you.
I think you're just going to be a great asset to the community. I feel a lot of enthusiasm and energy and all those things coming from you. And so I know and I love the way all of your job experiences have helped shape you into being the perfect president for the chamber. I mean, whether it's behind the scenes producing something or marketing, you know, you're selling something, or just investigating to create, come up with a story. I mean, there's so many different things that you've done in your lifetime, and it's just all coming together to give you this chance to serve Duncan.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
It's
learn as I go and introduce myself to as many people as I can, and really the big, and one of the big things we're going to do too is to send out a survey to all of our members. I mean, I want feedback. I want the honest truth of what do we do that we are doing great, that's helping you. What can we do to help you even more? What can we do as a chamber to support you and your business and your organization? So I'm going to start working on the survey to send out to members.
That's a really good idea.
Get the feedback, and it may not all be great. That's fine. I'm happy to work through that. And
the part that's not great, that's room to grow. Opportunities, exactly.
Yeah, we do. In every chamber I've been involved in, that's been the case. You get your surveys, you get your information back, and then all right, what are some substantial things that we can do? What can we do as the group to really meet these needs that are not being met or could be met better? But I feel like overall the chamber does an awesome job, and they've managed to get through the bad COVID season and try to stay strong. And now I'm here to just help them continue to grow and move forward and do as best as we can to, live another day and enjoy ourselves and love life.
I just think Duncan is really going to benefit, not just from you serving in this capacity, but just your family being a part of our community too. That's very exciting. And so again, I just want to welcome you to Duncan, and I'm excited to see what all is going to happen.
Thanks.
Yeah, and because I do the Leadership Duncan meetings, I get to see you every month, so this will be great. This will be a good time.
Oh, we'll talk about
it happens.
It does. It does.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today on Trail Talk.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So when we sign off, we always say happy trails.
Okay.
All right.
Together.
So, yeah, you ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy trails.